As promised, we welcome you back to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center here on the campus of LSU. Game 2 now in the books here of the Baton Rouge Regional as LSU gets the win over Hawaii 73-50. LSU will advance to take on Michigan on Sunday in a time still to be announced. Happy to be joined by head coach Kim Mulkey to my immediate left. To her left is Angel Reese, 34 points, 15 rebounds on today's game. I have one other note for you on her in just a moment. And to her left on the end, Flau'jae Johnson, who had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. This note from the SEC, Angel Reese is the first SEC player this century with at least 30 points and 15 rebounds in a women's NCAA tournament game. Angel, congratulations on that mark as well. Head coach Kim Mulkey will pass on her opening comments, so we will start with questions directly for the players. We will ask questions first just for Flau'jae and for Angel. For those of you who are joining us via Zoom, if you have a question, as always, please hit the raise hand mark on your Zoom, and we will get to you, and then we will hear from Coach Mulkey. So first, questions for Angel and Flau'jae. Please address which player you are asking your question for. Thank you.
And who you are.
And who you are. Thank you. That's for you.
Angel, there were times where the offense was up and down. Just what was your mindset? What was your approach? Obviously now in the NCAA tournament going in.
Yeah, just doing whatever it takes to win. I mean, Hawaii is a really great team, and we couldn't go back and forth with them shooting a three. They're a really good three-pointing shooting team. So just being able to guard on the perimeter, and then offensively, I mean, I think we had the advantage inside. So just trying to get inside as much as we could.
Michael Cobble from WBRZ here in Baton Rouge for Flau'jae. First taste of NCAA tournament play, and Kim looked like she really ratcheted up, Coach looked like she really ratcheted up the intensity on the defensive pressure and making, quick subs in and out, making sure she had your all's attention. How important was that to start the game?
I think it's very important. I feel like we came out, well, when I did my film, I was just like, don't get beat backdoor, because they kept going backdoor. So I got an early steal. And I feel like that just made it contagious, and everybody started getting into it. But we've really been just focusing on defense. Everybody being able to guard, big lineup, small lineup. So that's what I was really focused on when I came out.
Jacques Doucet, WAP-TV in Baton Rouge. Angel, Alexis' burst of points there, it was only like 6 points, but it seemed to kind of separate the score for good and really fire up the crowd. What did you see there?
Yeah, she's one of our leaders. I mean, she doesn't really get down on herself, and her to come back and make those shots at the right time. I mean, she always seems to make shots to get the crowd going, and she just does that. She stays consistent.
Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network. Flau'jae and Angel as well. How much emphasis, and I think we talked a little bit about it before tonight, but just how much of an emphasis this past week have you guys spent on the defensive end of the floor and being able to turn good defense into efficient offense?
We worked on that all week. I mean, just getting back to our defense. We play a lot of teams that play a lot of different styles. But I feel like what we do in our defense, LSU defense really works for us. We worked a lot on transition defense. Like, they shoot a lot of threes, so fanning out or getting downhill. And that's what we've been working on all week. So just getting back to our style of defense.
Yeah, just focusing and just executing.
Scott Rabelais with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Angel, they said you tied the school record for points in the NCAA tournament game with Marie Ferdinand, you may have met, another All-American here. What does that mean to you to have that in your first NCAA tournament game? And you gave the crowd, I'm sure, a bit of a scare when you went down with that ankle in the second quarter. What happened there?
No, I caught a cramp. That was it. It wasn't my ankle. But, I mean, I'm excited. I'm happy. But, I mean, it's bigger than that. I want to get to the next game. So taking one game at a time and just focusing on that. Got to get a lot of rest and recovery tonight and tomorrow. So just being able to play within the team and just listening to the trainers from now on.
Jim Klein, Peter with the Advocate. Angel, did they do anything that you haven't seen this year defensively with you? Did they throw a lot of different things at you, or what did you see coming at you defensively?
I mean, I've seen double teams all year. I've seen players and post players become really aggressive with me down low. So they didn't give up. I mean, Hawaii is a really good team. So just being able to know that and just trying to – my teammates got me the ball as much as they could. So kudos to them. So I'm just happy we came out with the win.
Angel, we talked a lot about this team not having a lot of postseason experience together. How important was this first step for you as a team, right? And then secondly, how important was it to see the physicality that's going to be coming at you in the postseason? Because they let y'all play early in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go a lot of jitters for a lot of the people that have never been to the tournament before, and this is the first experience for a lot of them. So just being able to be a leader and just keeping everybody together and poised. So this first game, and luckily we have it home with our amazing fans here. So just being able to have that, and then going into our second game, I mean, we won't have fans after this round. So just trying to embrace it all. Oh yes, I've seen physicality all year. So just focusing on that. I mean, early on, a lot of teams become physical with me, and I just can't let that get to me mentally. And the coaches do a great job of just emphasizing on that.
Justin Margolis, KPLC. Angel, this one's for you. They came out right away and were +7 on the boards at one point in the first half, but it seemed like you guys made adjustments and recovered in the second half. Was that a big emphasis coming out of the locker room that you guys talked about?
Oh, for sure. I think they had 9 offensive rebounds, and Coach really got on us about that because people shouldn't really be getting offensive rebounds on us. But I think it was just all on us. It wasn't really something they were doing. It was on us, and we weren't focused. So just coming out in the second half and being really focused and playing together and just rebounding.
Questions for the players? We're clear on our Zoom. Any other questions? One more back here for the players.
Just real quick. Angel, did you see, I mean, obviously your brother had a big game yesterday for Maryland. I just wanted your thoughts on that.
I'm happy for him. They get to play at Bama tomorrow. So my mom is here, and she's going to probably drive down from here to Bama tomorrow and see him play. So being able to see him dance for the first time, I'm really happy for him. And I mean, it's probably hard for my mom to pick one game to come to. So she came today, and then she's luckily can be able to go tomorrow. So this is an enjoyable moment for the Reese family.
Flau'jae, we talked yesterday about everybody contributing, but to see Poa, really quick defensively tonight and Day getting some buckets early, I guess, how important is that for the success of this team?
That's what's going to take us far. Everybody just doing what they do best. I think that we're a great team when they can't just hone in on one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just opens up what we can get for Angel, then what we can get for Lex, and then Day. I feel like we're a great team when everybody's just moving on one accord, offensively and defensively.
Angel Flau'jae, congratulations. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, guys. Absolutely. You are dismissed. Head to the locker room. All right, now we'll open up the floor for questions. Once again, if you're on Zoom, if you have a question for Coach Mulkey, you can tap the raise hand. And if you are here in person, please introduce yourself, who you're with, and your question for Coach Mulkey.
Mike Scarborough with TigerBait.com. Can you talk about what you saw in this Hawaii team? Was there anything specific that they did on Alexis? Of course, she got her some points in the fourth, but was there anything defensively they're doing, or was it all Alexis?
Yeah, no, they didn't do anything we didn't expect, and it wasn't. I think it was just Alexis missed some shots early, and she just needed to stay cool, and she did. She didn't get too down, doesn't get too high. She's a senior that understands that happens in the game, and I thought we got her some screens there at the top, and she hit 2 or 3 baskets, and I thought it energized the crowd and got everybody going. But she didn't shoot it particularly well. Jasmine didn't, nor did Poa. But you win by 23 or whatever it was, and 3 guys that are in your top 8 don't shoot it very well. We'll take that victory any day. I think we outscored them 11 field goals. We got to the foul line our usual amount of times, 25 or so. Rebounding, I'd have to go back and look and see why the rebounding was so close. I think some of it had to do with long rebounds. They got a lot of long rebounds, those 50-50 balls. But, yeah, it wasn't like they trapped her and took it out of her hands or made her take bad shots. She had good looks.
Chessa Boucher with WVLA here in Baton Rouge. Coach Mulkey, earlier I talked to Lex after the game and asked her, your guys, the game plan, it seemed like y'all wanted to bang down low, and I asked her if maybe her shooting wasn't there because she was so focused on getting the ball inside. She didn't look like that offensive threat that we've seen for the majority of this season.
No, I think she settled. If you go back to the beginning of the game, instead of coming off the on-ball screen and get to that foul line area and shoot a mid-range, she was settling for threes. And I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that we wanted to pound it in there and we had the size advantage inside at all. I don't know this, but I would be willing to bet we got just as many perimeter shots as we did post shots. She just, it's basketball. You make some, you miss some, you keep shooting it.
Yeah, Jim Klein, Peter with the Advocate. Were you satisfied with that first quarter of defense? Y'all looked like y'all really came out on fire defensively, at least.
I told them in the timeout, I said, it's not your defense that's struggling now, it's your offense. I was pleased. I think we had like 20-plus turnovers. I'd have to look at how many 21 turnovers we created, and we only had 10. We got our hands on a lot of balls. We were very active. We were very physical. But, yeah, I thought starting the game on the defensive end, I thought the kids were locked in.
Right here, Coach. Andre Champagne, KLSU Sports. Can you talk about last year, POA? Second highest plus-minus tonight. Even though the stat sheet might not show it, can you just kind of talk about what she does that just makes her so effective on the court?
Well, first of all, POA came to us. She scored the ball a lot in junior college. And she's very willing to be unselfish. She'll find the open players. Sometimes she makes too many soft passes, and you need to make them a little bit more crisp. But she's playing very confident. She's not afraid to shoot the ball. She's not afraid to drive in there. She's getting better defensively and keeping people in front of her and not hitting a screen and stopping. I thought the production from our bench was outstanding. I thought Kateri Poole had like 6 big rebounds. I thought Kateri was good tonight. Samaya, she was good early, and then, I'm just teaching her. As a freshman, I take Angel out of the game because she gave up 3, and she goes in and gives up the same 3, so I take her out. I think Coach Starkey lit into her because he's in charge of post play, and but you got to have those guys learn. They have to learn, and Flau'jae and Samaya are players that we depend on, and not many freshmen see the floor as much as those two do.
Hey, Kim, Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network. 2 questions for you. How proud does it make you when you see a true freshman like Flau'jae come and affect the game the way she did as early as possible in the biggest of stages? And then 2, just wanted to get your inspiration on the outfit today.
I'll answer Flau'jae first. They're still a freshman. They've played a lot of minutes, but they've never played in the postseason. So guys, we've been off 2 weeks. We weren't sharp. I don't make excuses. I remember when I was in the Big 12, I used to be envious of the SEC because I said, man, they get to rest. Well, now I'm in the SEC, now I'm like, nah, I don't like this rest stuff. I challenged her and Samaya all week that you are going to have to guard older players to keep advancing. I can't rush time. I can't make you experienced, but you just got to have it internally, to have it in your gut that I'm going to bow my neck and I'm going to do everything I can, Coach. So she probably didn't like that, but she performed tonight. I subbed a lot early. May do that the whole playoffs. Just depends on the flow of the game. May start a different lineup tomorrow because Michigan's big at all positions. We worked in 2 weeks on things that I haven't worked on all year. Not changing who we are and what our identity is, but I have to work on a big lineup. I have to work on a small lineup. I have to work on presses. So there was a lot of teaching going on in 2 weeks with a few days off there, but I challenged her. I think she responded beautifully today. The outfit is, it says kiss what? Kiss me. I'm a queen. That's the people who give me my clothes. Queen of sparkles. It's not talking about me being a queen. And on the back, it's lips, right? You kiss with your lips, right? And what color is it? And what is today? So are any of you Irish? Huh? We all acknowledge it, right? Tomorrow is the St. Patrick's Day parade in Baton Rouge. If you're here and have nothing to do, they say it is wonderful. Go see it. Last year, it was a conflict with us in the NCAA playoffs. So that's the story behind the shirt. Not me being a queen. It's giving acknowledgement to Queen of Sparkles.
Coach, in your Jack Wada with WGNO, in your 2021 tournament run with Baylor, 78-75 overtime game against
Kim and I are friends, the coach for Michigan, and I saw her when she was leaving the court. Was it today or yesterday? And we just went and embraced, brought her daughter, one of her children. You know, when you get to the NCAA playoffs, you want to see new people. Do you realize they have put us together 3 of the last 6 NCAA tournaments? She looked at me and I looked at her and I said, what in the hell's the deal? Is it a Kim thing? She goes, I know it. You know, I played her in the bubble too, when the bubble was in San Antonio. That's the one you're talking about. Then I played her in 2018 at our place in Waco, and now here we are playing each other again. You think at some point you're going to see somebody different. For a long time at Baylor, it was Cal. I'd always see Cal. Much respect for Kim. Her kids are grown now. When they came in 18, it was during Easter, and I gave them gifts and Easter baskets, and now I look at her kid, and daughter's going to probably play for her someday. She's one of the good ones. Good coach, good person, a good mother, good wife. I hate that we have to play each other.
Yeah, we'll keep it there. I guess just defensively, the scout for them, you're going to have to close out and play big.
They're just solid, you know. Brown at the top. When I last played them, she wasn't their point guard, you know, and they had Naz Hillman inside, and they're big at all positions. Not 6'5", 6'7" like a South Carolina. They're just 6'1", 6'2" on the perimeter. They're big. They're played all year in what a lot of people consider the best league in women's basketball, which makes me want to give a shout out right now to the SEC. The SEC has won their games, haven't they? Right? Right? We hadn't lost yet. Ole Miss is left, right? So maybe you need to give a shout out to the SEC today. Tough league. If you watch the Big Ten, a lot of just tough, strong basketball.
Hey there, Coach. Brent Martell with AP. I know your team's usually better from 3 than they were today, but I think this is maybe the second time where you've had a rough day from there and still won handily. To what extent does having a player like Angel in particular allow you to win by this much when you're struggling from outside?
Well, I've always been blessed to have good post play. I've never had to coach a team that jacks threes up and shoots 30-plus a game. How many of those teams ever win national championships? Men or women? They may in the pros, the Warriors and different people. It's a different game at the pro level. So I've been blessed. We were 1 for 14. 14's about a good number for us to shoot. They challenged us to shoot those. We'll make them. We'll make more than that. Keep shooting it. But we're not going to live and die by the 3 ball. That doesn't mean we don't have kids that can shoot it. It's just we're not going to live and die by it. And to think that we won by 23 today, and Alexis Morris scores, 6? And she and Jasmine and Poa missed all those wide open shots. I'll take that any day.
Question for Brooke here, and then a question up front for Scott.
Hey, Coach. Brooke Kirchhoff for WWL in New Orleans. To follow up on that, what does that say about this group that even when Alexis Morris does have a night off, that you guys can still dominate offensively? And then 2, as you guys prepare now for Michigan, what is your message to her to try to keep that confidence in her shooting?
I don't have to give her a message. Alexis Morris is going to be fine. If you look down the scoring, I'll take that. You'd love to have 4 or 5 scoring double figures, but if you look, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, nobody was hesitant to shoot it. I'll take that kind of scoring. You scored 73 points. I thought our defense was good until about maybe middle of the fourth. We got a little fatigued and let them start hitting some threes. They averaged 7 threes made a game. We held them to that. They only averaged shooting about 22 or 25 threes, and for probably good reason, they shot more. They're not going to go inside against us. And so they're going to look for more threes. Yeah. Survive and advance, right? We've been here at this level. We want to win one more and get to a Sweet 16. But Michigan does too.
Scott Rabelais from the Advocate. So to survive an event, do you have to play better on Sunday than you played today to win?
Did we play bad?
Offensively, you weren't great.
Yeah, we just didn't
Defensively,
shoot.
you were good, and
We just didn't
turnover-wise,
shoot.
you were
Yeah,
good.
we just didn't shoot it good from the perimeter. I mean, I'd love to tell you that, man, we're going to do better and we're going to score at all 5 positions. Go win a ball game. We won a ball game by 23, and I don't think we played bad. I think we were a little bit rusty and missed some open looks, and you could go out there right now and they'd probably make every one of them. That's basketball. It's the game of basketball. And it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't looks that maybe a few were contested. It was wide open looks. And I got to see that firsthand in the second half in front of me. I couldn't tell if some of those shots we were taking from the perimeter, they were challenging us to shoot those or not. But I would say leave us open. Leave us open if you don't think we can make it. We're not afraid to shoot it.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Hey,
We'll have more
guys.
time for questions tomorrow for LSU on their off day. Players will be available from 1:25 to 1:40 tomorrow afternoon. Coach Mulkey will be available from 1:45 to 2 o'clock back in this room tomorrow. LSU will then follow with a 2-hour practice that is entirely closed to the media. And then LSU and Michigan on Sunday in a time to be determined. That'll wrap things up for this Friday here at the Baton Rouge Regional. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you back here tomorrow.